Good morning. Good morning. You're on the Success Secrets for Business, Family, and Life channel. This is the Coffee Break Show, and it's now on once a week. And so today is the first time we are on this week. And it's brought to you by the Metadime Digital channel, where you can find all kinds of good shows that are on. And today is our Wednesday guest day. And as you can see, our guest isn't here. So I'm not quite sure what's happening right now to our guest. And so I'm going to start anyway. I'm just going to be like, hey, we are right now in the flow of things, and we're going to start this once a week day. I see you guys coming in. Do me a favor and put your name down there. I told you we're going to see transformation happen in the middle. We've been talking about transformation last week. It was weird for me to go live and not have every day live, just go live every single day. And what ended up happening was, what ended up happening was that I bike rided a lot more, and I went and I did 18 miles, and we've been working, etc. I got more done like that, but I have missed the audience that's here, and it's weird going down to one time a day. And I'm wondering, I want to make sure you guys can hear me and that it's actually going live and that things are happening here. So do me a favor, put your name down below and let me know that you're here, that you can hear me, that you can see me. When you don't go live every single day, it gets kind of weird. I don't even know what happens, but it gets kind of weird that way. So I did a lot of bike riding this week, and I've got a couple of new books coming out and things like that. And I told you I was going to do the transformation thing in front of you and give you an update and things like that. So I don't know exactly when the Secret Joy is coming on. Hi, I see y'all coming on. Good morning. Good to see you too, MJ. So happy to see you. I see that we have a little slow on the internet uptake right now, so I'm really glad to see all you guys popping on. MJ, I have missed you. I'm so used to seeing you every day or seeing something from you every single day. Let's see what's here. Hi, Vicky, finally got in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So what ended up happening is, well, I'm just going to say that it was like a really weird week. It was such a weird week, not going live. And at the same time, I got so much done. I got so many more things done and et cetera. And today I wanted you to, my guest finally popped on. I'm going to give her a lot of jazz about being late for the Coffee Break Show. Hello. So I'm going to pop her on right here so you guys can give her a lot of grief. Let's see. That's right. That's right. Jane Face. Good morning, Carrie. Nice to see you on. Welcome. This is the Coffee Break Show. Our guest today who finally joined me right here.
I'm so sorry. So funny story. I was actually talking with one of the speakers of the Boss Brunch, Shauna Olson.
Turn it up a little bit. Can you talk a little louder?
Hold up. Can you hear me better?
You're talking to Shauna Olson. Hey, Mr. Ambassador. Look at this, Mr. Ambassador. Nice to see you Wednesday, everyone. I don't like the one time a week. I'm not sure I like the one time a week either. I'm just doing it right now. I'm missing my morning routine. I feel you. People, hey, good morning, Carrie. Glad you made it. Yes, me too. Anyway, you were talking to somebody this morning.
I was talking to Shauna. She's a powerhouse. She is literally a powerhouse. So, during COVID, like she lives in Canada. During COVID, she owns 2 restaurants during COVID. And of course, like you're thinking like, oh my gosh, 2 restaurants during COVID, that must have been a lot. Literally, she was still doing like 6-figure profit months every month during COVID. And I'm like, who are you, woman? Yeah. How do you do these amazing things?
Is there a way that you can turn up the volume? Because it sounds, I'm like, well, I almost feel like I'm shouting at you. Somehow it's just really, really quiet. And normally we do sound checks before we get on, but let's see. It's still kind of quiet. So this is what I'm going to ask you to do. I'm going to ask you to speak loud, just really speak loud when we're talking. First off, I just want to tell the audience, hi, I've missed you guys. I'm so glad you're here. If you're listening on iTunes or iHeartRadio or wherever you are, Pandora, Roku TV, welcome. We're so glad you're here. I can hear her fine. Great. So they can hear you. That's great. And they said, I can hear good. Thank you very much. Great. Thank you guys. So we are going to start today because I want to just introduce Carrie myself. Why? Well, not just because she's my friend, but she's looking at becoming a partner at this firm that we have, Metadyne Digital. And she is stepping into the executive producer role, but only because we asked her to. So here's the thing. I want to talk to you about who she really is as well. She's a branding expert, and I mean a really good branding expert. And she is also focused on this event that we have coming up, which is called the Boss Brunch. And we'll talk about that. And it's already coming in. Hey, welcome, Carrie. Nice to see you. So the thing is, what I want to talk about today, I'm going to have a broad conversation. Now, look, she came late. We had no plans. There's no questions. We don't have anything pre-done or pre-anything. So if you have questions for her too, you guys can type them into the chat box right there and ask her stuff as well. But what I want to talk about is the move. The first thing I want to talk about is the move from having corporate brands to personal brands. And that is huge right now. The future is about a personal brand. And that future is and it's not just being, hi, I'm an influencer. It's you as a brand. And that's what I want to talk about first. I want to get everybody on board. I see you guys still coming on. What's the difference between being an influencer and you as a brand? I just want to start with that basic knowledge as the first question I want to ask you as we go into the branding conversation and then the Boss Brunch conversation and the business. So can we just start with that? And by the way, welcome to the Coffee Break Show.
First of all, I want to say that I love you so much. And I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. I'm going to razz you later.
I'm so
too.
Sorry. So literally the thing about, because it's funny, I used to work in corporate America. I used to work for Subway corporate office. And when I was working for Subway, the idea of what I was doing is helping them increase their visibility and profitability in their business. So I was working with the franchisees. I was kind of over about 30, 35 franchisees in the Atlanta metro area throughout all over the place.
It's a lot.
And it was a lot. And literally during these conversations that I had with them, I said, Subway is only going to take you so far. That name will only take you so far. There's way too many people with the Subway name for you to stand out amongst the masses. So you have to be able to build a brand around your store to show up differently. And my team was like, they used to be like, Carrie, what am I supposed to do? Like, I feel like I pay Subway like this percentage to give me marketing and advertising. I said, that's great. But guess what? That marketing advertising they're doing for you, they're doing for every other people in the world. So let's figure out what we can do for you. And so what we did, and this kind of goes back to when I first started in this restaurant industry and pretty much really as a leader, was I created a Fat by Visibility strategy. And this was when I had my first job in the restaurant industry. Literally, one of my friends said, hey, Carrie, I want you to run my restaurant. I was like, sir, I've never worked in a restaurant before. This is not my jam. He said, Carrie, you got it. I want you to run the restaurant. 2 weeks into it, he went out of town for a month. I said, sir, you understand what you're doing to yourself? And he's like, you got it, Carrie. I believe you. So I became a fast fan of Google and YouTube school. And I figured it out. But during this situation, I realized I was like, okay, people could see our restaurant one way, but they couldn't see our restaurant the other way. So how could I show up as this new restaurant in like in a
Yeah.
in like a metropolitan city selling wings and pizza when there's wings and pizzas being sold everywhere? How can I
Yep.
stand out? So what we did is literally we created relationships with every business within 5 mile radius of us. And literally what we did is we went out to to these businesses like, hey, we have these new this new meal that we created. I just wanted to gift it to you just to say that we're welcome. I'm super excited to be a part of your community. And we're just like 5 minutes down the road and we'd love to see you next time. So this is what we did. Like literally we're just like boom, out everywhere, just going everywhere. So when I came into Subway, I was like, we have to do it again. And they were like, Carrie, I have to leave the restaurant. I said, yeah, we're gonna have to get out there. I was like, we need to I was like, we need to get in schools, we need to go to churches, we need to be able to be the community, create a community around.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's what my franchisees started doing. So they started getting these catering gigs and all these things because they were creating relationships with these high schools, middle school, elementary schools, daycare centers, churches. So then all of a sudden their profitability was so high that all the parents and church members that were in these bigger arenas, they only wanted to come to that Subway because they saw how they supported them everywhere else.
Yes, yes, that's the issue. And you know what's interesting about what you're saying right now? Who is this, by the way? Thank you for being here, whomever this is. But you know what's interesting, what you just said, we think that that problem isn't online when it is. It's like if you see people people who do Facebook ads, people who do SEO, people who do social media. It's like there's so many social media things. It's that one thing you do to stand out. There, if you say Subway and here's all these Subway franchises, and you take a look at that one. You take a look at that one aspect, there's no difference between Subway and social media strategists.
Yep.
It's the same franchise. And the thing you said is so important. It's like, how do you distinguish yourself? Now, you just said something that, got me. You said it's harder online.
Yeah.
And I want to know, tell me more about that. Tell me about, it being harder online. And somebody tell me who this is so I can say hi to them.
Yeah, so the reason why I say it's harder online, because if you're let's say you're in like a brick and mortar place, people know where people drive past you, people go past you, people see you. So you have a chance to be visible.
Yes.
You have an easier chance to be visible. You have an easier chance for people to see who you are and make a decision if they want to try you out. So that's the difference between having a brick and mortar space. But in the online space, it's Karen.
I love you, Karen. Thank you. Keep going.
Love you so much. Yeah. So literally, like in the online space, you have to be able to differentiate yourself in a way that's different than how you would differentiate yourself in the offline space. So this is when I really hone in and tell people that you need to create a brand archetype. So kind of what you said, there's a million social media strategists out there. There's probably a million brand strategists out there. I probably can throw a rock in the online world and hit a brand strategist.
Yeah.
But the thing that makes me different is because I have learned that my people are going to respond to me because I have a creator and magician brand archetype, and I'm going to double down on them because most of my clients are magicians. They have a magician brand archetype. So if I can use my tonalities, if I can use my words in my copy and in my social media that invokes that emotion in them, then they're going to be like, she's speaking to me. I need to
Okay. This is important. Let's go back right now and just, what is a brand archetype? How many are there? And this is so interesting what you just said, because it's interesting. This morning I was on Facebook and I was scrolling and I saw this, if you're an archetype like this, and I was like, well, what is this? And right away I have interest. And since she brought it up, I want to know what that is. Tell us more about that.
Okay, so a little background about me. I have my degree in humanistic psychology. So I've always really been
humanistic psychology.
Humanistic psychology, not behavioral humanistic. It's a quite different approach. So in humanistic psychology, the belief is that you have to understand people at a very innate and core being.
Yes.
And if you think about like Maslow hierarchy of needs, if you think about Carl Jung, because he's actually the one that kind of created
Yeah.
the structure, is people have innate core needs and desires that push them no matter what
Yes.
area they are in their life, no matter if
Yes.
it's in business, no matter if it's in personal, no matter if it's their pleasure. There are certain things that people have innately in them that sways them and pushes them to be able to hit that goal. So one of the things that a lot of people, like, let's say there's certain people, it's funny because my mom is this way, there's certain people that seek the idea of security and safety. They seek this core piece of like, how can I find safety and security in all things that I do in my life? So if your brand is attracted to that person, literally, if you use the right words in the right
Yes.
conversations, and you're putting them in a place of security and safety, when you put out your offer and your service, they will literally say, I'm in. I don't care
That's
how much
right.
it costs.
You
Like,
go.
you're speaking my language. I don't know how you're speaking my language. I don't know how you created what we say, this heartstring to my heart.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down. And then when you create your visuals that also invoke that emotion as well, you're solid. And this is what we call the frictionless brand strategy. So for me, right now, I said that like I'm on a mission to redefine the way people look and think about branding, because most of the time people look at branding as they first thing they think is like, oh, the visuals, like how does it look? But it's so much more than that. Like that's just a cherry on top. Like the
Yes.
you have to understand who you serve innately. You have to understand their core motivator, their core desires, like what is their heart like, and then figure out how can I evoke that emotion in their heart by creating a brand that speaks to their core needs.
And this is the whole point of creating you as a brand as well, because you often use a term that I don't use much, which is your zone of genius,
Yeah.
working in your zone of genius, etc. I have a different term I use, but I really like the working in your zone of genius. And one of the things that happens when you start unpacking what's my zone of genius, everybody always thinks that it's what you do, it's a skill set. That's not your zone of genius. Your zone of genius is who you are inside that brand, in that humanistic look at, are you a security, are you risky, or it's almost like you need to find who you are within your brand, because chances are then you can create that heart connection with the people that she's just talking about right now. This is so important to understand, because the future of business is about exactly what she said. That marketing principle where you take a bunch of people and you throw them against the wall and you see who sticks, that's dying.
Yep.
What is happening is there is this transformation happening right now to the authentic branding, the you branding. So I want to go back to the zone of genius. I want to go back to what you're saying about branding. And I want to talk about maybe somebody who is, yeah, there it is. Personal brand is as important as your organization's brand.
Mm-hmm.
Branding and retention is based on heart engagements. They're talking to me. This is the thing that she's talking about. We structure copywriting skills around copywriting skills, not about attracting the client we want.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm so interested in what you're doing, because you are changing how branding is done, like all around the world. This is a big plate to step in. It's very exciting. So
Yeah, I'm really excited. When I finally said I was going to step into it, I was like, I can see so much. Like I even see myself even creating like a certification to teach this way, what we call the frictionless branding way, because it creates this frictionless brand. Like it makes sales easier, it makes conversations easier, it makes even creating your offers easier, because you're creating offers based on the heart of your client rather than who
yes.
they are.
Now, did you understand that? It's on the heart of your client, not how you can market them to death, manipulate them, and FOMO them into buying your brand. This is the future of marketing, what we're talking about right now. And this is why it's so exciting. I like frictionless branding. And to me, you need to get that book out right now. I'm just saying, but that's just
I
me.
know people have been telling me. I think you know what? I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready.
You are ready. So what I want to know is, let's talk about your zone of genius, because a lot of people, it's not just zone of genius for your brand. It's your business. It's who you are. Let's talk about what your definition of that is, and why it's so important for you to help your clients identify their zone of genius.
Yeah. So the thing is, like I always say, and it goes a lot with understanding who you are as a person. Like I feel like that's a very key piece of understanding your zone of genius. And for me, my zone of genius has always been to create connections with people. Like I've always been really great about creating connections and really building, like getting to know people innately. So it's very easy when it came to business for me to actually use that to build my business. Yeah. So the idea is what innately comes to you. So like I tell people, like if you're innately a person that likes to be outgoing and have communications, be on video, be in the center of attention, that is your zone of genius. So you need to figure out how you can use that to create your business. If your zone of genius is that you actually like writing, taking notes, like really like going through the process on how stuff is done, that's probably your zone of genius. And you need to look at that again and reverse engineer that and figure out how to put that into your business. Like that's how you do it. Like you don't, a lot of times people say, oh, you know, I want to create a business. I want to do this. And then all of a sudden they get burnt out. They're like, I created a business that I really didn't love. But if you create a business that something that's actually innately in you and is innately in your who you are as a person, it makes it so much easier to wake up, even in days where things get stressed or rough.
You're in it.
You know what I love it though.
Yeah. I call that creating a life and business you love, because I really believe that you can create the life you love. Hey, Robin, Karen, would you do me a favor? I want to do this right now. Would you please put up bossbrunch.live up right now, because right at this moment, in this time slot that I have with you, I want to go all in, because have you ever understood the power of being at the beta? And I have tons of times, beta on software, beta on digital currencies, beta on everything. Let me tell you something. A long time ago, my friend Don, he said, if you invest in the future, you're going to get rich. If you invest in the past, you're going to get broke. And that is what we're doing right now. We are going to be investing in the future. When I tell you you're at the beta for this marketing, for this branding, for this everything, I have given you 24 to 36 months right now. Talking with her, we have just given you 24 to 36 months head start of where this brand transition that she's talking about right now. And I want to call it humanistic branding, because you can write that down and take it. Humanistic branding is about relationship and connections with people. It's also part of her profession. She has a degree in that, as well as business and branding and everything else. This is humanistic marketing, humanistic branding. It is the whole philosophy of creating relationship, creating connection, and not scaring, pressuring, manipulating, etc. And this style marketing is in beta right now. And I'm telling you, you have 24 to 36 months that you can be so far ahead of everyone else by understanding what she's talking about, frictionless branding in a humanistic marketing style. This is what we have today. And today, when we talk about this, I want you to see it in action. And you have an opportunity right now. I want to talk about that, because Carrie, I'm really excited right now because
No, it's like it's the thing is like for me, like it has me super excited.
Yeah.
Because I always like, so I don't know if you're familiar with the human design, but like I'm a projector. Like
Yes, human design.
Yeah, so I'm a projector. And I
Mhm.
realized that I was projector like maybe like a month ago. And once I realized that, like everything that I've been doing in my life started making so much more sense. And when it came to this, it was so in alignment with why people used to say, Carrie, you just need to get out there and just push your products and push your services and things like that. And I'm like, no, that doesn't feel right to me. Like it feels weird. Like I just want to be able to get to know people as who they are first. And if they see value in who I am and my services, they'll come to me. They'll have these conversations with me. And literally when I realized that the projector brand is that person that asks for the invitation, and all that I have to do is have conversations with people and people come to me anyway, it made so much clarity. And I was like, this is what I've been talking about for so long. And then the thing is, like, they say that the projector brand is that future. They're the people of the future. They're the ones that are reshaping the whole human design process anyway, and the whole structure of it. So I'm like, if I'm creating this mission and this message of reframing and redefining the way people look at branding,
Amen.
I'm definitely the person that needs to be here to do it because of who I am innately.
Yes. But the other thing is, principles within that style of branding are yours. And I want to talk about, because we just went into zone of genius. Working within your zone of genius is part of the humanistic branding. Do you see this right now?
I do.
Tia Vicky gonna help you. That's right. So you know what I'm saying? It's right there. And this to me is this is how we market each other without trying. It's natural. It's easy. It creates no fear and no hesitation. I want to tell you, this is it. And this is going to be the power of women in business right here, because we don't like bro marketing. Bro marketing is that men thing. We are humanistic marketers right now. That's what we are. That's what we do. We just had Wendy Schenkel on, had a couple of 3 weeks ago, and she was doing the 10 commandments of marketing to women. And I can remember one so clearly: don't be a one night stand. And part of that bro marketing is that one night stand. In humanistic marketing, and this is so important because I built Smart Group Firm. My average client stays with me 5.5 years from start to finish. And here's why. Because if you just give somebody something, you know how many businesses fail in the first year. And when do businesses become stable? 5 years, that 5-year mark. So from here to here, I'm in the boat with them so that they get to the success point, the success rate. It's not, here, buy my product, and if you do it, maybe we'll pay attention to you. And I don't care if you put this on the shelf and go away. It's like, what is this? Bro marketing, all that killer and crushing it. No, thank you. That's right. That's right. I'm killing it. I'm crushing it. And so can you. And, I remember the make 100,000 in 30 days and you can be a 7-figure business overnight. So,
it's funny. So like so all this was happening, like, so I was, this time, like 2 years ago, this time I was not in the online space. I barely was even on social media. Like I was corporate girl. Like I saw my trajectory in life. But I remember when I came into the space, I saw so many people telling me what I should, like, you should do this, you should do that, you should act this way, you should say this thing, you should do that thing. And everything was never in alignment with who I was innately. And I was like, I don't want to be this way. I don't want to show up this way. Like, people were like, Carrie, you need to post more. You need to like push out your offers. And every time I did it, it always never settled right with who I was.
Yeah.
And I was like, and literally like there was a moment that I had, I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to do this online business thing because I can't put myself out there like that. Like I can't put myself out there and brag about like what I do and things like that. Like, I don't think I can do it. And then it was funny. I had a call with Wendy. And she said, "Carrie, you need to step into this because you're so much more powerful, and you can do so much more than you realize."
Yeah, she rocks. She's one of my favorite people on the planet. Bossbrunch.live. I want to put that, I put it in the chat. Robin, would you do me a favor and put it up there? Metadime Digital, put it live, Boss Brunch Live. Here's the thing. Everybody loves beta information. Everybody loved when Microsoft was at $7. One of the things that we have done completely at this at the coffee break show is tell everybody well in advance. We told you when Bitcoin was at 6,000 that it was going to be this high and that high. And even though it's fallen today, it's crashed at 41, doesn't matter. It's never going back to 6,000. So the thing that's there for me is that we have given you the beta of everything. We are telling you right now, this is the beta. Now, I want to talk to those people out there, Carrie, who are starting their own business, who don't understand what their personal brand is, who don't understand how to stand in their zone of genius. They're not even sure what their zone of genius is. Or even if you have a business and you're thinking, gosh, I am not getting traction in my business. I'm not sure what my message is. I mean, come on, you can be as big as Subway, for Christ's sake. We're talking about being as big as Subway and still having to create your own personal brand, knowing what you are. So there is a lot of ways that you could learn to do this, but I'm going to ask you, do you want to learn how to do this correctly? Do you want to learn how to do this humanistic brand marketing right now? Because I want to talk about the Boss Brunch Live right now. And I'm going to be honest with you right now. I'm a speaker already at the Boss Brunch Live, but we have the top women experts on from around the world, literally in one place, so that you can get some of the information that we're going to be sharing right now about creating that brand. I also want to just give a shout out. Hey, Felicia, congratulations on your first week of your book launch. It's exciting and you're doing super well. It's just, yeah, just popped in to say hi. Great show as always. Thank you very much. I'm so proud of that. But we're going to be talking about branding. And, I just wanted to say congratulations and thanks for popping in and joining us. So let's talk about that. How do we get that humanistic feeling branding? And let's talk about the Boss Brunch. Why did you create it? What is your wish or goals with it? How can people, get to see it, etc., like that?
Yeah, so I created the Boss Brunch in 2019. Like I had this feeling that there was so many people online, especially women, who weren't that were in so much competition with each other and
that just makes me crazy.
They were always looking and seeing what somebody else was doing, let me figure out how to be better than them. And I was like, why can't we just come together and just do it together and just do it together? And I remember I created a planner. I created the Boss Planner, and when I created the planner, I was like, I really want to have a brunch. And I was like, I want to have a brunch and I want to do it with women so we can kind of come together and we can collaborate and we can learn from each other. Because that's the thing about it. It's there's going to be 16 top speakers, but there's going to be some people in the audience when we do those Q&As that are going to say some things, and it's going to be powerful.
Yeah.
And the idea for us to learn together, for us to collaborate together and create that bonding connection, for me, that's the most powerful moment for me.
Yeah, that's a humanistic community.
It's exactly. I see it. I see it. Oh, this is so good.
You see all the keywords I'm giving you right here. I'm just saying.
I see. Oh my gosh. Oh gosh, this has me excited. Guys, I want to write a book, and when I say that, I never thought I would have wanted to write a book before. So I'm excited. When I tell my husband I'm going to write a book, he's going to be like, "You going to write a book?" I'm like, "Yes, I'm going to be an author." So the first year that we did the first one that was attached to the planner, and then I did another one in May, which was Boss Brunch Bring It to Your Purpose. It was our first virtual version because of COVID. And when I did it, as the idea of it was, I felt like it was very in alignment with kind of where I was in my business. Like I felt like I was at like this moment of like stepping into it, but every time I tried to step into it, I wasn't sure. I didn't know like how to do it, or like how to stay motivated to like step in, like jump into it or spring into it. So that's what last year's brunch was about springing into your purpose, and like understanding that your heart and who you are as a person has value, and your missions are important, and your values are important, and the impact that you can make in the lives of others are important. And if you decide to be quiet and mute yourself, you're not only hurting yourself, you're hurting so many millions of people that need to hear.
Yes. Say that again, because this is the point.
You're hurting so many millions of people that need to hear your voice.
That's right. I mean, this is the point with women in general, I think, because right now the voices of women are coming up. And this is the thing. We are joining together with like-minded people. And, you know, there are places where there's some snake in the grass women who you don't want in there. But for the most part, in this humanistic branding and marketing model, that is the frictionless branding that she has brought into the world and is growing right now. That whole aspect, that whole mindset, women, and I believe there are men out there that feel it as well. And they're just like, okay, I am so tired of this old marketing. So I want to let you know that the registration for this is in there. And I think there's, you know, I think is there a free version of this or something like that?
Yes, so there is a free version of the brunch. That one is a full live ticket. So it's 2 days. It's a 2-day event. So it's the 10th and the 11th. And for the free version, you just have to show up to all the ones because there's no recording. But if you want to get the recording, which I would suggest that you do, and I'm also giving $100 gift card to my Celeste shop and my Canva Like a Boss masterclass, that's $47.
And this is what's really interesting. I'm going to slow it down because it was $100 gift certificate to a course that is with you, and also a Canva class as well. And trust me, I will tell you this right now. She's great at Canva. I personally know this, and so do a few other people. So what's happening here is that there's an opportunity to be in the beta of one of the biggest changes in marketing history that's going on right now. And it is the future of marketing, full stop. Bro marketing is dying. You've pissed off a lot of people. You've shysted a lot of people. And shame on you for taking advantage of people who want to learn how to do something for the first time and manipulating their enthusiasm about that. That is dying. It's dead. It's gone. We are going to have humanistic marketing and branding and communities all over the place. It is happening. And for women who are looking for a community where women are valued in such a way that they don't compete with each other, don't stab each other in the back, don't get catty, don't get scratchy, don't lie, don't cheat, don't steal. And you're like, where is my tribe? Then the tribe is there, and all you have to do is access that. And we're talking, there's a free entry point. You can come in and explore, kick the tires, find out if you like it, and then understand that no matter what you do in your future with your business, whether you're a franchise, whether you're already a business, you are still a brand. You still have to get the brand for your company right in there. This is such an important, this to me is one of the most important conversations that we've had on the Coffee Break Show. And I'm talking 400 and something or other of them, because it's about building consciousness into business. It's about building consciousness into business and how you do that. And you know, they say how you do anything is how you do everything. when you do consciousness in business and you do consciousness in your life, and look at this, new beginnings. That's right. Thank you. Thank God for that. It's in new beginnings. It's true. And I am so far ahead of the game, with her by talking about it today. And I just want to brag right now, a little bit. Okay. The quality of the speakers around the world that have said yes to Carrie to come on and share their best knowledge, their best secrets, including me, of how to go ahead and brand and build and explode your business out. That all of that is so important right now. It is so important to understand, know, and learn that. But what's important to know is they're not getting anything. They're coming in and delivering this to you for free because they care. They're delivering it to you where we're sitting up the best secrets you can find, because it's like, I've already made my money. I already have my investments. I want you to make your money. I want you to have your investments. I want you to be free to make any decision that you want. I want you to stand in your zone of genius. I want you to know what really works in humanistic branding. I have a couple of questions about the event itself. So I can brag about a bunch of my friends, but I will tell you this. Tracy Wilson is going to be on there sharing. And Tracy Wilson is a multi-award-winning entrepreneur. I mean, multi-award-winning entrepreneur. She's best in class at that. Obviously, we talked about Wendy Schenkel. Wendy Schenkel is going to be there. Another amazing, you guys have no idea. She's fun and funny and quiet and everything and unpretentious. You have no idea how she can rock the entrepreneur world and how she's going to help you do that as well. Just name a couple. Oh, Cassie Brown is going to be there.
Brown, Shauna Olson. You have Lindsay Padilla, Lindsay Mustaine.
Yes, Lindsay Mustaine. Padilla's coming on as well. What time will it be at? If you go to the Boss Brunch Live and sign up, yeah, you go sign up. All the answers are right there. It'll be there. It's June 10th and 11th. This is you. We're not telling you like, oh, it's going to be this weekend. Rearrange your whole world. If you want to make a true investment in your future, if you really want to make a true investment in your future, then just be there. If you can't invest 48 hours in your, or it's not even 48 hours, but if you can't invest 2 days in your future, then can you see how you're failing already? If you do that. So let's talk about when you put the Boss Brunch together. What were your like 3 wishes that would come out of it? I know one of them was that women would come together and be like-minded and be that. What's a couple of other things?
So I think first it's important for me to explain like this year's purpose. So this year's purpose and the theme is standing in your purpose. So I feel like a lot of times when you have trajectory and a little traction in your business, it's so easy for you to get off your purpose and off your plan. And my goal of this event, like my main goal was I wanted people to be able to be at this event and they come back into alignment and they get grounded in their purpose and why they're doing what they're doing, and then they can walk again. Because I think a lot of times, like, especially because you're moving, you're like, oh, let me go do this real quick over here. Oh, let me go over here and do this thing. And then all of a sudden, like, you'll stop and you'll be like, why am I doing this? Like, is this in alignment with why I decided to do this? Is this in alignment with when I spring into my purpose? Is this in alignment in that? And so a lot of times it's not. Like, it's not in alignment. And then you literally have to like come back into focus sometimes. And that's what this event is about. And that's what everybody's going to be talking about some tactical implementations, but a lot of what they're going to be talking about is realigning with your purpose so you can stand grounded in it and then walk and you can
rooted. Yes. Thank you, Sean. Hashtag realignment to purpose. I want to answer this question right now. My show is on Thursday. Need to know if I should pre-record it.
Pre-record it.
Yes. Yes. Pre-record it and be there. The thing is, you want to be there for the live for that weekend. And oh my gosh, this is just, realignment of purpose. This is the thing right now. It's not about suffering from shiny object syndrome, because I can suffer from shiny object syndrome. Some people just need to be refreshed and reimagined, rethought, rethink, moving forward. Some of this is so important to understand as we move forward on this.
Yeah. And then like another thing, like another one of my goals is, I feel like everybody tells you all the things that you can do and you should, or they say you should do to win and to move forward and things like that. But a lot of times, if you come back and you get grounded in your purpose, you realize there's only one thing that you really need to do. And if you double down on that, you'll be fine.
Yes.
And that's the main, that was the other main goal. And the thing that I wanted people to remember is you don't have to do all the things. You don't have to post 50,000 reels and 10,000 stories and do a IG live and an IGTV, and then make your stuff on your feed, and then go to Facebook and do the same thing all over again. Then go over to TikTok, then go to Clubhouse and spend 6 hours. Then make sure you're emailing your list every day. Like, that's a lot. That's a lot.
It is. It's so much. Trust me, because I'm old school and they didn't have apps back then. And in order to get your message out, you did. I mean, the 16-hour day. Oh, God. I want to talk about something that I just want to ask, because I know this event is for women, but what if there are men out there and they're thinking, I want to learn not bro marketing, but I want to kind of learn this humanistic thing. Can men come to the Boss Brunch? Because we do have a token man.
We have a token man. Vince Roundtree is our token man. And the thing is,
he was on last Wednesday. Vince was on.
Yeah, so Vince is our token man. And the idea of this is to be able, you have to have purpose and passion. Like, this isn't for the bro marketers. So if you have purpose and passion, that's kind of what we say on the thing. If you have purpose and passion and you're wanting to build a community of people that are trying to do the same, like, our arms are open and our hearts are open to you.
That's right. That's right. I mean, that's just, so if I show up, token dude number 2, yes, we would like that, Sean, if you showed up as token dude number 2. But in our book, you're still number 1 too. I want to let you know. Yes, but Vince Roundtree is going to be there, Sean. So you could be the next guy there. But I want to open this up to men, because what if we've already, I have set this conversation up a long time ago. Okay. We had Wendy, whose Purse Strings Effect book. We talked about the market. The future of the market is going to be placed in women's hands.
Yep.
Trillions and trillions of dollars. Do you think it's important to talk about how to sell to women? We've talked about this. I have been planting these seeds for you because I don't want to squish the male ego, because we love our men. Our men are important. They're really great for us. We're not trying to say that. We're just trying to say this transformation is happening. And if you don't catch the bus, you're going to miss the bus and ultimately misdirect your business.
Yep.
And it'll be harder, longer. The profit margins will be shrinking because you aren't addressing the client you need to be serving. And that client that you need to be serving is people. It's like conscious people deal with conscious businesses. They are not, bro marketing is dying, not because it's dying because the public doesn't accept it anymore. And they're getting wise.
The main reason why it's dying is because it's funny, because I always say I feel like COVID hurt bro marketing more than it hurt anybody else, because what happened is there were so many people that came online, and the urgency of scarcity started to show up as not truly urgency and scarcity.
That's
so they're
right.
like, so you're scaring me and telling me that I have to do these things, but everybody's scaring me and telling me I have to do these things. So do I have to do all the things, or can I just do whatever I want to do? And
Yeah.
why are you scaring me and making me feel like I have to do the things?
Yes. And that's the point right there, isn't it? It's like, so this is the thing. It does feel schmarmy. It feels
Smarmy.
schmarmy. But the thing is, don't you want to know what is birthing itself? What is the future of marketing? And
Human.
it's such a healthy form of marketing, because I think we went through propaganda marketing. That was like for years propaganda marketing. Then we went through decades of bro marketing, and bro marketing is dying, and humanistic marketing is starting to come into the forefront. And it speaks to the client that we have been trying to tell you about, that is going forward. And humanistic marketing is going to be definitely well into the future. It is going to be through advertising. It's what's happening right now, right? So
Yeah, and the thing is, like, what I think is really interesting too is the millennial generation. They are rooted in that humanistic marketing.
yes, they are.
And it's
That's the
like,
market.
and it's funny because it's like what was happening is you had like the older people that were okay with the bro marketing.
Propaganda marketing and
They
the
were
bro
okay. They
marketing.
were okay with it. But then what happened is like you had COVID. All these millennials that had these jobs, they lost their jobs, and then they had time to actually do stuff. And they were like, oh, I can just, just speak from my heart. And then they
Yeah.
start speaking from their heart. And then there was people like these consumers that are like, so this person is just telling me, like giving me just like who they are and how they feel. And then this person is like is spamming me and sending me all these emails and doing all this like scary stuff, and their websites look weird and shady. I think I'll go with this person that looks like a human.
Yes. It's about that authentic connection. It's like your people are buying from people they feel. It's not, oh, you know me, like me, and trust me anymore. That's dying. That's part of the bro marketing. Know me, like me, trust me.
Are you
Let me see you authentically.
do you
People now
adore,
are,
yeah, it's like,
there's,
yeah. Do you
there's,
adore me? Do you feel compassionate about me?
yes,
Those are the questions that people ask.
they want to get to this. Say that the question again.
Do you know me and do you feel compassionate about me?
That's
Like
right. Do
that's
you know me? Do you feel compassionate about my plight, my problem, my issue? Sean, thank you. This is the birth of humanistic marketing, and it is about to unveil in a big way. And I want to let you know something out there. We're going to lead that calling. We're going to lead it in such a way, because it is that heart connection, that full connection of having that kind of marketing. I want to let you know my hair is on fire talking about this. And it's weird because when Carrie and I get on the phone, we start chatting, I can roll away with the conversation with her, because it's what's in my heart. It is what I have done for now over 20 years.
mm-hmm.
I know for myself that my reputation, when I started off in sales, the reason I have been so fortunate with sales is because I'm like Wendy. I don't sell anything I don't use, that I don't have a connection with, that if it's not in my world, I don't buy it, I don't use it, I don't get it. Well, what happens is suddenly everybody knows that. Everybody knows that you're in that wave. And so what ends up happening is the next thing you sell, everybody wants to buy, because you have that authenticity. We're talking about building an asset, marketing, branding as an asset, and not just something you kind of do that you hope to God your bro marketing closes the deal with. And, it's so important. So what would you say to somebody right now? What are 3 pieces of advice you would give to somebody who's just starting out, who doesn't know anything about marketing, who's just starting their online business journey? What's 3 pieces of advice you would give them?
So first, I would tell them to be a little introspective. Like, take a moment to be introspective and figure out like why do they like why are they trying to start a business? Like
Yes.
that underline, and like underneath the why is like, what is that underlying thing that's driving you and pushing you to do something? So that's the first thing. The second thing is I want you to take time and really understand your raving fan as a human being. Like,
Yeah.
who are they as a human being? Like, Are they dating somebody right now? Like, how's it going? Like, are they like who are they as people? Like outside of the business and all that stuff. Like, who are they as people? Like, are they morning people? Are they doing these morning Tuesdays? Do they pride themselves on these morning routines? Like, who, like, what is that like for them? Like, when they go to bed, like, what are the thoughts that are kind of like tingling in the back of their head before they go to sleep? Like, what's that thing? Like, so that would be the third thing. And the next thing that I would say is determine what your brand archetype is based off of those two questions. Like, is like, what is the core strategy of your brand archetype? Like, who are you actually truly speaking to? And like, how and use that as your differentiating factor, and how, like, that's your hyper targeting. Like, if you truly want to build a brand and you want to actually like really connect with somebody, double down on your brand archetype, because that is the easiest and most effortless way to truly create a connection with somebody, because you're talking to them subconscious to subconscious.
That's beautiful. Subconscious to subconscious. Relational before transactional. Thank you very much. This is really true. What can they do right now if they want to work with you?
If they want to work, I'm sorry, my niece is like, I'm waiting for my Roblox play date.
It's coming, sweetheart. We're almost done.
3 o'clock, ma'am. 3 o'clock. 3 o'clock. Yes, go. That's too loud. It's funny. My husband will be like, "Here she goes again." Every time you're on an interview, at the end.
It's like her cue. I want you now. So how can they work with you?
Yeah, so they can work with me. They can reach out to me at connectwithsalasha.com, or they can just go to my social media. On Instagram it's Branding with Carrie, and Facebook is Carrie Thomas Omaur.
So somebody slap those up there. Carrie, your future really rings true to my heart. And I love your saying, I help good people help good people. This is something that is there. I want you to know next Wednesday, it's going to be me, and we're just going to be talking with ourselves. Welcome to the team. I'm so excited about what you're doing and how you do it. And it's going to be so rocking good. The future is so bright. We got to wear shades. All right, you guys, you know how it is. Nobody gets out of here without listening to the music. Thanks for being with us today. All right, you guys, see you later.
Bye.